Yes, yes, absolutely. We see the archers coming in. Even Cinzia Noziglia from Italy, one of the I'd put her as favorite to win the gold medal match, even though everything's open. But yeah, we see that it's cold, and it could play a factor because your fingers are cold, and yeah, it can make the release not so smooth.
Signore e signori, la finale oro, arco nudo femminile. Representing Italy, Cinzia Noziglia. Representing France, Alicia Baumert.
So a great reception for both of these potential gold medalists, but particularly for Cinzia Noziglia, an Italian with a golden CV from outdoor to indoor, and 4 previous European field golds to her name as well. The 38-year-old will be taking her place against the young 23-year-old Alicia Baumert from France. And Bernardo, we've got seeded number 1, seeded number 2, the 2 best in the competition here, dueling for that gold medal.
Yes, preceded straight into the semifinal, a little different format in terms of how the brackets work in field archery. And yeah, they were from the start the favorites for the gold medal, and now it's time to see who's actually walking away with the gold.
Well, for those new to field archery and who may have watched predominantly target-based archery, field is 4 ends, 3 arrows per end, so a total of 12 per competitor, and it is a cumulative score, and unlike target, it's not alternate shooting. They can shoot simultaneously, so there is a little bit of strategy as well as to who goes first and the rhythm to which the archers shoot their arrows. And for our first target, it is a tri-spot, 20-centimeter diameter target at a distance of 10 meters.
Five, cinque.
Great start by both archers. I have a feeling Baumert is a little bit more tense. We see her breathing quite heavily, trying to shake off the nerves, which is completely normal. Like, at least for me, the beginning of a match is always the toughest moment, like settling into the match.
So all 6 arrows away. You mentioned about the tenseness of Alicia Baumert. She is coming up against not just the home favourite, but something of a legend in archery circles, in Cinzia Noziglia. And the Italian starting very accurately indeed. And as they make their way to the second target, it's an opportunity to tot up their scores from their opening 3 arrows each. And in field archery, it is scored 1 to 6, the center of the target 6, and then the values moving concentrically outwards to 1. And it is a cumulative score. It is not scored in sets. So every arrow truly counting to that final total. And while we saw the archers take aim shooting up, you'll now see that target number 2 is more elevated, and they'll be shooting down for target number 2. 25 meters the distance, and a diameter of 40 centimeters. And the Italian Noziglia leading 15-12 over the Frenchwoman Baumert after 3 arrows shot. As you can see, different target setup this time. It's not a tri-spot, it's just the single target. And Bernardo, what are the difficulties or the adjustments that these two are having to make now that they're shooting down as opposed to up?
Yes, it's even more interesting to note that on the Barebow, we can see that the archers, they put focus and they spend longer to place their fingers on the string. This is something very peculiar of the Barebow. It's called the string walking, and it's kind of how they adjust the sight, let's say. But it's completely different when you're shooting downhill or uphill, because when you're shooting downhill, you tend to hit a little bit higher on the target, and you got to take that into account.
Baumert 4-4. Noziglia 4-4.
One more to come from Noziglia.
Baumert 2-2.
And that is target number 2 negotiated. Noziglia taking that 3-point lead into target 2, and just judging on eyesight, looks like she may have increased that lead after 2 targets.
Italia 27, Francia 23.
It's interesting to note here, Joe, that Alicia Baumert from France, she is struggling already for the second time on her last shot. So both end number 1 and 2, she was quite close, and in the beginning of end number 2, she had diminished like the lead that Noziglia had, but then her last arrow is really being the chink in her armor. You know, she's dropping precious points, and now we have only halfway the match to go, so she needs to fix that last arrow very quickly.
What do you think, Bernardo, could be the driver of that last arrow not being quite as accurate as the 2 before?
It might be anxiety, to be honest, you know, just anxiety building up throughout the end, and you just want to finish strong, and you might end up over trying. Let's see whether she managed to put it all together now in end number 3.
Noziglia increasing her lead by 1 from that target number 2. This is number 3, 45 meters away with a 60 centimeter diameter, shooting uphill.
5, 5, 4, 4.
And Bernardo, just in terms of the bow themselves, how does the Barebow differ so significant to maybe the recurve, which is a bow people may be more familiar with from target?
Yeah, in its essence, Barebow and recurve, they are pretty much the same. Like we even see quite a lot of archers shooting Barebow with pretty much the same equipment as the recurve, like in terms of riser and limbs. But then the big difference really comes in terms of the accessories. Barebow, you're allowed way less in terms of accessories, and then therefore it affects the technique, you know, so that you can draw the most you can out of the equipment in terms of performance.
Noziglia 3, 3.
Well, you see the grouping there from Noziglia.
4, 4.
Baumert with a very, very good opening arrow.
Italy 37.
She knows that she needs to make up points heading into this fourth and final target.
Francia 34.
If the scores are level at the end of the fourth target, then we go to a shoot-off target, which is actually an entirely different target, one that they won't have faced. It's set up specifically for the shoot-off. But certainly, with the score having been updated for you to see, Baumert has closed the gap by one, 37-34 she trails. Bernardo, you've been in situations like this before. What's going through the respective archers' heads at this stage, heading into the final target, knowing exactly what they have to do?
Yeah, navigating these circumstances can be really challenging. I believe that a gold medal final is decided like more than 90% on the mental game. So unfortunately for Alicia Baumert, she's not really making Noziglia very uncomfortable. But yeah, a good start now in the fourth end might put some pressure, and that's what she needs to challenge Noziglia.
37-34, Cinzia Noziglia leading Alicia Baumert. Final 3 arrows per woman to determine the gold. That's a nice start from Alicia Baumert.
Baumert 4-4. Noziglia 4-4.
And this target number 4 is, I believe, the most challenging one, like 50 meters away, uphill, added challenge to this. And I believe that the archers are also not standing in terms of stance, in terms of feet position in the most comfortable position. So this is what field archery is about, is like adapting to all of these different circumstances. And Baumert did it just perfectly, shooting a 6, exactly what she needed. Let's see Noziglia's response.
Baumert leading by 1 with 1 arrow remaining. And extraordinarily trailing, going into the fourth and final target, Alicia Baumert has produced 3 stunning arrows to take victory and the gold medal, Bernardo.
And